Hey everybody, this is Joe from Super Console Bros coming to you with another video in the Thoughts series. Now this time I wanted to give my opinion on video game films. Because for those of you that don't know, apparently a live action Mega Man movie is being made by 20th Century Fox. Now, this is not just in terms of the Mega Man movie, but this is just a problem. I mean, this video could be talking about any video game film. Now, what I want to know is, why hasn't anybody learned any, or woken up when Wreck-It Ralph came out? Because Wreck-It Ralph, although maybe not directly based on a video game, it was based around video games. And I feel as though with a lot of the with most of these concepts for video game films that have happened beforehand, they could have been good movies if they were animated. Very few video game films could actually do well or okay at most when live action. Some people could argue that some of the Resident Evil movies or some of the Tomb Raider movies were actually okay movies, or a few were good movies. Those are up for, discussion between people. But what I want to know is why, not only, but animation isn't the only thing that I have a problem with, that people don't seem to get it. For a random example, if the Mario Brothers movie was actually... Okay, before I give an example, let me explain. First up, animate these movies. Because it seems like with the worlds that these people that are making the movie are trying to tackle, for the most part, would be better off animated. That's number one. Two is, when you make a movie, it could be both the person making the movie and the company granting the license. It could be both of their faults for messing up the movie. You don't just give a license to a random movie studio unless they're a good, well-known. Well, not necessarily. I guess a better way to put it, you don't just throw around a license for a game a film that is a video game adaptation just to a random studio and then expect it to do well. Because in most cases, the film gets hyped and it doesn't even live up to the smallest amount of what people thought it would be. One example is when I saw the movie Pixels. I thought it was an okay movie, but it definitely didn't live up to the hype. The trailers made it more exciting than it actually was. But not only, if you want a good movie, you need to go as a team. Meaning, you take, let's say, Pixar wants to do a video game film for Mario, for a random example. Or maybe if Sony did. Apparently Sony has a rumor that they might be doing a movie. But you need people, or a team of people from Nintendo, main creators of the game series, people that have written the stories or plots of the game series, or people that know the character, to help out the movie development team in order for them to merge together and make a good film. You need people to understand the source material that they're given. If necessary, this is just a random example, but if necessary, have those people that are making the movie actually play the games for a few minutes. Or pick people that actually know what they're talking about or know what the game is. Because unless you pick someone that actually knows what they're writing about, or you team up with the team that's making your movie, it's going to be a train wreck. The biggest point, though, is you need to stick to source material. This is where the Mario Bros. Movie example comes in. At not one point do I remember Goombas looking like overweight, mutated, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Crocodiles that literally look like crap because of the weird, like, turdish green color on their scaly body. And I don't remember Koopa being practically bald with a weird bumped up head and with a laser gun. That is not who Koopa is. Koopa is a turtle monster that leads a bunch of Koopas and Goombas to try to take over the Mushroom Kingdom. Now, what does this have to do with the Mega Man movie or animated movies, if anything? Because obviously I'm probably pointing out the obvious here, but what I mentioned earlier is not a Mario Brothers movie. That is just a train wreck. That is more so a... Now, I'm not bashing on anybody who had the movie close to them, because a lot of older people these days might have watched it as a kid, but even then, you know it wasn't that great of a movie after you look back at it. But the point is that if you're going to make a Mario movie, make it animated, because live action doesn't fit with Mario, and I'm not talking about just Mario, just an example. But, you know, you can't put a Koopa that walks around in a live action, you know, environment. I mean, obviously people have made videos on YouTube, but those are different. People that make these videos on YouTube, which is kind of funny, but they tend to have more information and incorporate on these... They tend to have more information on these games more than actual film writers, and they usually know better about how to integrate these things, because it's not meant to be an actual film. It's meant to be kind of like a joke video, like a parody. You know, Mario Warfare could be an example. It's a parody, but a parody is different. You know, you can't actually implement these elements or parts of a game into a live-action world. You can't do that with Mega Man. There's a rumor they're doing that with a Sonic movie. Now, Sonic... I mean, I'm not saying that it's like a realistic video game, but... And I don't care if I make fanboys angry of anybody, whether it's Mario, Sonic, Mega Man, whatever, but... Now, he's been in some semi-realistic environments like, you know, Station Square in Sonic Adventure 1, and with the idea that they're making it partially live-action and partially animated like the Smurfs, that one's kind of up for debate. But a Tetris movie? Number one, I don't think Tetris could be a movie even if it is animated. And even if it was, I don't think it would turn out very well. To close things up... The problem is, I'm just going to reiterate so people can keep track, you have the wrong way to approach making the movie. You don't have any or very little involvement from the company that created the original IP, and you have people that don't even know what they're quote-unquote lended, messing around with that IP and essentially tarnishing it, giving it a bad name and making it look bad and giving it negative publicity, and furthermore, giving the company behind it negative publicity. And before I end this, if you're curious, I don't think the Mega Man movie's gonna do great. You know, I thought that with the release of the Legacy Collection and the new cartoon coming out, I have a feeling the new cartoon might be nice as long as the right studio gets it, or as long as it's executed right, but I thought that with those things, there'd be hope for the Mega Man series. Maybe Capcom was finally learning from their mess-ups, or actually cared for their main mascot of the company. But unless by a crazy amount of chance that this movie actually turns out to be okay, then this is just Capcom taking a dump on the series. Anyway, this has been Joe from Super Console Bros. Let me know what you think, and I'll leave a link to this live-action movie in the description below, and leave a comment of either a video game movie that kind of let you down. You already know mine was Pixels. By the way, sorry for talking with the accent. I do that unintentionally. I'm not kidding. My parents tell me that a bunch. But anyway, leave a comment of what video game film kind of left you down in the dumps, and which one you considered to be the biggest train wreck of a video game movie. Catch you around, everybody.